Eating disorders have the highest mortality rate of any mental illness. For various reasons, many cases are likely not to be reported. In addition, many individuals struggle with body dissatisfaction and subclinical disordered eating attitudes and behaviors. And the best known contributor to the development of anorexia nervosa and bulimia nervosa is body dissatisfaction. By age 6, girls especially start to express concerns about their own weight or shape. 40 to 60% of elementary school girls are concerned about their weight or about becoming too fat. This concern endures throughout life. 35% of the normal dieters progress to pathological dieting, and of those, 20 to 25% progress to partial or full syndrome eating disorders. These statistics are alarming, indicating the need of an urgent action to create awareness among the school-going children, teenagers and their parents regarding eating disorders. All stakeholders should pledge to join hands for working together to create a strategic plan for the management of eating disorders. Equity for eating disorders, do act now.
Hello everyone, as member of IHCOM EAD working group, I would like to outline the objective of this group, which is to provide a comprehensive review of measurements for evaluating healthcare for patients with eating disorders with a feasible recommendation that providers can reliably implement. The standard set of outcome will allow providers to measure the effectiveness of treatment modalities. IHCOM aims to deliver a maximum standard set in ED which will enable outcome measures in clinical routine practice in order to improve decision making between prescribers and patients, facilitate quality improvement, and allow for benchmarking across organizations worldwide. Although eating disorder and distorted weight control behaviors present a significant threat to the health of the adults and adolescents, but unfortunately still they remain an overlooked or neglected area by most of the healthcare professionals of public health and preventive measures in Pakistan. We need to train the next generation. We need to train the next generation of health professionals to harness the power of public health to prevent eating disorders and related problems with food, weight, and appearance. Substantial advances in our capacity to prevent eating disorders and dangerous weight control and shape behaviors will require concerted efforts to integrate eating disorder prevention into the clinical practice as well as the curricula of the national training programs in order to produce eating disorder healthcare trained eating disorder professionals in order to produce trained healthcare professionals of public health. We should pledge to create equity for eating disorders and carry out activities at grassroots level to equip ourselves with necessary knowledge to tackle the issue of eating disorder. Equity for eating disorders, do act now.
Well-documented health risks of eating disorders and the high numbers of youth engaging in dangerous behaviors in attempts to control their weight and shape underscore the critical need for prevention. But current prevention efforts are not adequate. Prevention strategies are needed on a large scale to reach the millions of youth at risk. They also need to reach young people early before they have started down the path of escalating weight and shape control behaviors that can eventually lead to an eating disorder and other serious health problems. On individual level, we should educate our family and friends about such disorders and help them to self-care for themselves. Today, I pledge for equity for eating disorders and do act now.
Hello audience. Eating disorder is not a part of identity of any person. It is a phase which one can recover by support and self-care. We desperately need to change the way we talk about food and body because health is so much more than the size of your body or the food on your plate. We need to break the stigma of having an ideal body image. We can only see the change when we understand that self-acceptance and self-respect is the key to fight eating disorders. Equity for eating disorder. Do act now.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Ahmed Furqan Qazi, And on this year's World Eating Disorder, I would like to record a message for all of you. Throughout the world, one of the most challenging and deadliest mental disorders to treat are eating disorders. What are these disorders? These disorders, they are characterized by a persistent disturbance of eating that impairs health and psychosocial functioning. These disorders include anorexia nervosa, avoidant or restrictive food intake disorders, binge eating disorders, bulimia nervosa, and rumination disorders. Too often, their outcomes are tragic. Unfortunately, still, being skinny in Pakistan is an overwhelming female beauty standard. Media, on the other hand, they glamorize anorexia, advising readers on how to avoid eating. The more we talk about eating disorders as a serious mental illness, the more we can break down the walls of a stigma that keep individuals from seeking the early intervention that improves prognosis. So, this year on this World Eating Disorder, we need to join hands for promoting equity for eating disorders and increase access to screening, and not only screening but also quality care for such individuals. So, let's join hands for equity for eating disorders. Do it now.
Today, in the 21st century, our beauty obsessed culture creates an environment that is very damaging for their young minds. Children grow up with negative messages surrounding them, constantly being told that they are somehow not good enough, they are not thin enough, or too thin. The list of the beauty standards goes on and on. A society where individuals grow up feeling that there is something inherently wrong with them is a world where they do not grow up loving and respecting themselves. We believe it's time for change. We need to envision a different world where young minds are given a different message. Together, we need to discover new ways of rethinking about our health and beauty standards. We need to make our society understand that teasing others for how they look is not only unkind, it is damaging, and that only by being kind to ourselves can we be truly healthy. We need to join hands to promote awareness and equity for eating disorder in Pakistan to ensure health for all. Equity for eating disorder, do it now.